Light-hearted, slice of life.
The heart just goes up.
It leaves your body, so your body becomes lighter.
It was like about the family, right?
It's all about, it's a character film, guys. It's all about loving your family. Please sit. Jesus. I've lost 600 calories watching your film, so great workout for me.
You're a believer?
Huh?
You're a believer?
I'm a believer. I've been a believer since its premiere. I've lost 600 calories, my sinuses are open, so it's a great time. I watched this film when it premiered in September of last year, and it's been 9 months since, and I had completely forgotten how hot Lakshya is. I'm sitting next to Rajshri over there, and at one point she just went, Now, Nikhil, you've said about this, the origin of the story, over and over, and we've heard you say this, that you were on a train and you saw a robbery happening. But I will ask you to repeat that story one more time for this brand new audience that's just experienced Kill for the first time. When did the idea for Kill first come to you?
Thank you guys for watching the film. So last September I'd come over here and I'd watched the film at Beyond Fest. And they were chanting, kill, 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 kill. Oh my God. So yeah, that's all. I'm coming back to your
So
question.
yes, it came to you when you were actually on a train during your journey. This is a brand new audience, so please repeat one more time.
This was way back in 94, 95, when I was a student. And I used to stay, so my hometown was in Patna, which was eastern side.
Patna fans.
And I used to study in Pune, which was almost around, yes, so, a lot of fans for both the cities, great. So I used to travel 3 to 4 times in a year, and in one of those journeys, when I boarded the train around 11:30, I just went off to sleep. It was a sleeper class. Sleeper class is something which is where you do not have a conditioned coach. So you have to just lift the window and make the wind come in. Right?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, and hope for the best. A lot of stench, of course. So and I slept off, and the next morning at around 7 or 8 o'clock, we used to reach Prayagraj, at that time Allahabad. And it was winter, so I was very fond of guavas, and Prayagraj has very good guavas. So I got up in the morning to have guavas.
Okay.
And so the train did not reach Allahabad. It had docked at some small desolate village, and when I got out, I saw a lot of guavas. And that's when I got to know that the next coach, which was the first class coach, was getting robbed while I was sleeping. And
Great to meet sleeper class tonight.
yes, yeah. So, and that's when I got to know that they were robbing for almost 4 to 5 hours. They beat up passengers, they stabbed a couple of them, so it was a very horrific sight when I saw that. And just next to Patna is a place called Danapur, which is a camp area, and there were some soldiers who were traveling in my coach.
Yeah.
And when they saw all this, they started saying that, if the robbers would have attempted to rob our coach, you have shown them what
We're made of.
we're made of.
Yeah.
So this story stayed with me for 25 years. I don't know why it did not strike me earlier, but every story has its own birth. In 2016, I thought that I should write it down.
Yeah. And about 40 deaths. How many?
There were supposed to be 52, like in the script.
Compromise.
Yeah. So
Not sadistic at all.
yeah. So I reduced 10 deaths.
If you spend
My heart is broken.
Nikhil is so weird. If you spend any time with him, he's like the most soft-spoken, gentle, like polite guy. Like he'll get up and give you his chair the minute you enter a room and just look at the film he's made. There is a kill in his name. Correct. You can't spell Nikhil without kill. Kill Nikhil. made to make you. Was born to make you. But you know, you. Sikhya, okay, this beautiful indie production house in Andheri West. Lovely people, dogs are in the office and cats are in the office, and it's a lovely, beautiful place. How did you come on board this damn thing, Guneet?
She's wearing red.
Guneet has been doing method dressing, by the way. Please go to her Instagram and look at all her stylistic choices. They're all red colored. How did Sikhya come on board this particular film?
Actually, we always wanted, I mean, we did Elephant Whispers last year and
Casual Oscar winner. Casual Oscar.
we actually love stories and we always wanted to do an extreme action, non-stop action film, but never really had an opportunity of finding a script and a filmmaker that we absolutely love. So, in a casual conversation between Nikhil and I, was like, what are you doing next? Let's figure it out. Let's work together. Let's try and find something. He's like, I have a film. Nobody will make it. And I was like, oh, what's that? He's like, no, forget it. I said, no, tell me. So then, so then he said, well, it's an action film. I said, I want to do action. Because I've done like Lunchbox and Nasan, Gangs of Wasseypur. But like dramas, you know, besides Gangs of Wasseypur. But like, you know, beautiful dramas. But yes, technically nobody would think that we would do action film, let alone India's most violent film. But I think as producers, we love stories. And this for me was an emotional action film.
It is.
So I think it is a brilliant story. It is a brilliant script, and more than that, if anybody, you know, like anybody understood filmmaking, and of course, so many people here understand, Nikhil actually wrote out every piece of action. So it was a brilliant script, and he took time to go find everything he could use in a train to kill.
I traveled a lot.
And he used to smoke back then, so he had a
Yeah, so
Zippo lighter.
it was not allowed at that time to carry Zippo lighters
On trains.
on trains.
Oh.
But I used to smuggle them.
Yeah. How? Just chupa ke chupa. Yeah.
fire extinguisher.
Okay, fire extinguisher is always there on the train. I didn't have to bring it.
The size of the knives increases your tension as the film goes on. Like, the bigger the knife, you know, the gorier the death is going to be. Did you have a weapons department to be like, abhi hasli niklegi, abhi katta niklega, abhi gun niklegi?
Every knife had a name.
Like every gunda has a name in this film, every knife also has a name.
Yes, every knife.
Elucidate.
Yes, every knife had a name because thanks to Zubi, our prosthetic head of department, she said that she needed to know what's the size of the knife 3.5 or 4 months in advance because she wanted to make the molds. So she wanted to know who this knife is going into whose cheek or whose eye. So she wanted to know the name of the person and name of the knife. So how does that knife travel from the goon's hand into Lakshya's hand? So that was a trajectory which we had to, like, you know, we had to map.
Yeah.
And we had to map that some 4 months before we shot. So it's all because of Zubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made us work so much.
Yes. I mean, you know, when you watch a film a second time, these are the details that you notice a little bit more, the sizes of the knives, the styles of the knives, the way people are holding those knives. But also, you notice the Foley sound, right? Because the fire extinguisher smashing someone's head, that's probably a watermelon in a studio somewhere. How long did you spend doing the sound design on this?
Almost around 6 months. Almost 6 months. And, you know, there's special, so for example, Siddhi, the huge guy, the moment he used to punch, his punch used to, like, we had just increased it by 0.2 dB than the rest of the punches. So that it should feel, it should feel that there's more power in his punches.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Siddhi parts of the actors, he's one guy who's extremely involved in his performances. So much so that what you've seen, like how the number of times he's triangulating Laksh he's actually doing that because he forgot that he's acting.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. And there were so many times like when he was pressing his face against the wall, he was actually pressing his face, and he was like, Lasha, start him out, start him out. It's done, it's done.
My picture बना रहे हैं.
So yeah.
I love the moment where Siddhi makes peace with the fact that his father is dead, but then he touches his father's feet and then he gets up to start killing again. So the man of like morals.
No, that's respect.
Respect. Like respect पूरी होनी चाहिए. Guneet, talk to me about putting together the HODs, the cinematography department, and picking those people who are going to make this film with Nikhil. Rafe, for instance, the cinematographer. Just, I mean, the cinematography of this film, you guys. Yes.
So actually, as a production company, we go a long back with Rafi Mahmood, and we worked a lot with him previously. We did a film called Forget, and we had the most beautiful working experience with him. And he actually is like one of the best professors in film university in India for cinematography.
Right.
So he's not one of the, like there are so many amazing cinematographers in India, but he actually taught many of them. And he's much older, wiser, and the wise person on the set. So we used to actually call him Professor Sir.
She lied to me because she said that he's a cinematographer, he's a scientist. He's not a cinematographer.
Yeah, so
He is.
Sorry. So he's absolutely amazing. So he actually brought in a lot of stability, a lot of thought, a lot of decision making,
Yeah.
especially on how the light and the set worked together, the action, the prosthetics. So he is phenomenal, and from India point of view, a very unusual choice for an action film. But what he was able to create with Nikhil was and ask the right questions and innovate in many ways.
Well, another unusual choice, Raghav Jayal. Extremely unusual choice. We known him as a dancer, as an entertainer, as a reality TV show host, as a reality TV contestant participant. We've seen him like goof off on TV for years and years. Why did you want Raghav in this film to play funny?
So, we were testing for almost like, we tested around 120 people. We were auditioning. And I was not getting that guy.
Yeah.
Because funny is a mix of, like, from my point of view, funny was a charmer, as well as the person who is the most evil person alive on this planet. And when I saw Raghav's tape, what he did was, there was a scene where he was flirting with a girl, and the very next moment he turns out and he takes off his gun and starts robbing the place. So that was the audition scene. And when he did that, and I saw his tape, it was actually like, for one moment, he was the most charming person, and the next moment his eyes turned like ice cold.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I said, this is the guy, he's the guy. And it was a self-tape. We were shooting somewhere, and he sent that, and we said that we need to test him again, and he again came down to Mumbai, and he tested, and all of us we were sold out.
Let's get into funny a little bit. The writing a strong antagonist is just so important, with so many writers just so many times overlook the importance of writing a strong antagonist to bring out the protagonist that much harder. Funny. Now, he is a cricket fan, he references Dhoni and Kohli, and he probably listens to Bollywood music and hangs out with his friends and drinks Desi Daru and just has fun. Writing him, what were the challenges of creating an antagonist so strong but so relatable and so sort of you pity him at one point as well?
So he was the first person I actually thought of. So when I started writing the script, I started writing with him. Like, it was funny whose scene I wrote first. And I don't know why, but it just made sense that I need to make the antagonist, the bigger one, a person who has, because from where I come from, I have seen a lot of criminals. At that time when I was growing up, and all these guys, they were very regular looking people. You know, you don't need not have a scar on your face to make a person look like a criminal.
Yeah.
So these guys, when I used to see them, they used to be most charming people, and suddenly would go into the dark alleys and rob people, rob people of their bikes.
Yeah.
And I had known quite a few of them. So it's just like I borrowed it from my life and I put it down on paper.
He's incredible, and you found some incredible actors to play the part also. Lakshya, this is his first feature. He's done things before, smaller things, not really come into the national consciousness as he's about to now next week onward. But working with a brand new actor for a film that is, you know, there's so many people are working on it, and it's such an important film to so many people. Talk to me about trusting Lakshya to play your Amrit.
I feel, you know, I've always described Lakshya as a coconut. Yeah, hard from outside, soft from inside.
यहाँ पर the whole होता है वो brown on the outside, white on the inside. That's what coconuts are, no here? Brown people are actually white. No, but that's not what Nikhil is saying. Yes, but he's hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Guys, be serious.
Yes.
Be serious for a second.
Yeah, so, and that's what even Amrit is.
Yes.
So I met Laksh, I was supposed to meet Laksh and I was supposed to meet 4 or 5 other people as an option. And I met Laksh for almost around an hour and a half, and I narrated him the story,
Yeah.
and I told him the story. And you know, while I was telling him the story, he was like, he was inching, he was just getting off his seat. His interest levels were just rising. By the time I finished the story, the first thing what he asked me was, "When have you started?" And so for an Amrit, I needed a person who was very vulnerable, who was, was madly and deeply in love with Tulika, but at the same time, when the story goes south, he becomes a killing machine.
Yeah.
And Laksh is like that. Laksh will go all out for his friends and his loved ones. You don't mess with him. So that's what Laksh is. And when I met him and I finished my meeting, I came out and messaged her. And I told her, I found Amrit, I don't need to meet anybody. And she was telling me, you should meet other people. And I said, no, I don't want to because, I found him.
Right.
I don't want to meet anybody else.
See, Lakshya has that impact on people, I'm telling you that. So you meet him and
That's
you're like, this is it.
Also he worked incredibly hard.
Yes, for sure.
8-9 months of non-stop rehearsals, of action training, 5-6 hours per day,
Yeah.
breaks, no cheat days. There was a time when he was just like, he's also supposed to go home, not just work on the set. So he was so in and worked so incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Gave it his all.
Yeah, even in that scene when he takes off his t-shirt.
Yes, that's when Rajshri
So that scene, for that scene, he was not having water or he was not eating for almost like 3-4 days, and we were supposed to shoot that, and we could not shoot it because our prosthetic bodies were not ready because he has to pull those prosthetic
Right,
bodies.
yeah.
So our prosthetic bodies were not ready, so we had to keep pushing it. And for 3 days, that poor boy did not drink water because he just needed.
That's a little insane.
Yeah. That's commitment.
That is commitment. That's how you become a movie star. Guneet, yeah, I know, right? Guneet, I know कि करण जौहर के साथ काम करना बहुत मतलब इंडी स्पेस में प्रोड्यूसर्स के सपने होते हैं कि हम कभी yes, I'm so sorry that we will make films with Karan Johar at one point. But when you now, I know that you now have a further relationship with Dharma and you're making more films and things with them. But when this first finalized, then the first film that you're going to co-produce with Karan Johar is going to be this one with like 40, 50 deaths. How did that relationship start from?
I think the relationship with Dharma, our studio back in India, which actually makes a lot of big Bollywood films and Shah Rukh Khan movies and romance. And, they funded the film, and it's Dharma Productions led by Karan Johar and Apurva Mehta. Our relationship with them started during Lunchbox 11 years ago. I produced a small film called Lunchbox, which really broke out. There was, and the truth is that we did out of 10, we picked up awards and we sold the whole world minus India. And for India distribution, Karan and Dharma came on board. And when he saw the film, he said, "Can you fall in love with somebody you've never met?" And that built the global marketing campaign of the film, and he became our distributor in India. And till date, it's one of the highest box office independent film in India. And also many places around the world. They did extremely well. So our relationship actually started 11 years ago, also on a very unusual film. So I would say that Karan is an absolute cinephile. And and there's been an ongoing conversation on what are we doing next, let's do something else. They are doing 5, 6, 7 films a year, and we do like one, maybe 1.5. That goes on to the next year and then becomes good. So we, for 11 years there was a conversation on and off. So when I said that, there is an extreme action film, because I was absolutely in love with the story, and he said, if you want to do it, we're on. And he's like, yeah, we should hear it, we should do a narration. This was also a very difficult film to read. So this was very narration heavy. It needed to take over, you need to take over the audience who you're telling the story on, how it is designed. There's a lot of detail in the design and the plan, and Nikhil had written it like that. So I think in halfway through the narration, and all of you saw the film, and you saw the halfway point, and the title
drops.
So at the halfway point, he said, I'm doing the film. So that's how it happened.
Now, I know this story because I've been talking to both of you about this film, but do please tell Nikhil why the title slate comes where it does, at the midpoint of the film.
Because from there, killing starts.
Killing started way before that.
He starts killing from that.
Amrit actually starts from that point. Yeah.
He's defending.
But this is a really, it's an unorthodox decision to put the title slate in the middle of the film.
So the entire credit goes to Shiv,
the editor.
The editor. I was watching the first lineup, and I don't like to watch I don't like to sit before the first lineup is done, because I feel the editors are storytellers themselves. Let them do.
One editor.
So, because if I'm sitting and if I've taken a shot and I've spent 4 hours or 5 hours, I will start fighting with him. But no, you need to put that, because I have spent so much. So you need to put that. So I don't want to be there. So when I started watching the film, after 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I realized that the title is, I haven't seen the title coming. And after 10 minutes, I forgot. I thought that he has forgotten, so he is not put it. We'll discuss it later, we'll figure out where it is. And he's constantly looking at me, like the corner of eye, so he doesn't know what's going on. And then at 45-minute mark, it just happened. And I said, oh my god, oh, this is not moving, any other scene is moving, this is not moving.
Did you need convincing, Guneet, as producer?
Brilliant.
Nobody needed convincing.
Yeah, it was brilliant. She was exceptional.
One more question I have for you, Nikhil, and I don't know whose decision this was, to give the specific background music Ashish Vidyarthi gets. In his scenes, is that flamenco I'm hearing when he enters the scenes? What is that music?
Spaghetti Western.
Spaghetti Western. So we go from the killing straight up to Spaghetti Western, and it's specifically when Ashish Vidyarthi is on screen.
Yes.
Why? He's incredible.
Yeah.
My God.
Yes. So it's because of that.
Because he's just so to enhance his
To
presence on
enhance his
screen.
presence, also the fact that the moment he comes, so people were supposed to get down from the train at that point, and he comes on the train.
Yeah.
And from there, the story takes the first turn. That he was, so the story was supposed to being like this, that funny, and everybody had to get off the train from there. And in 30 minutes, and they were supposed to go away.
Yeah.
But the moment he comes on board, he wants revenge because his brother has gotten killed. So the moment he enters the train, the story has moved like one gear up. That's the reason why we needed that kind of an enhancement. And he is that character who kind of starts dictating the story from there onwards till the title drops.
Yeah. There's so many weird and incredible things happening in this film. And they just make sense. They've come together and it just makes sense. Are we doing Q&As or this is just...
Up to you guys.
Do you want to take some questions from the
Yes,
audience?
please.
Alright, great. So if you have any questions from Patna fans, Pune fans, editors? Anybody? Do we have a mic? Okay. So just maybe over there? That gentleman over there.
Hi, I'm in awe of this film. I'm blown away.
Thank
I'm
you.
still bathing in the adrenaline of it all. I wanted to ask you about what the process was finding the stunt choreographers, the fighters, and how you worked with them and brought this out.
You know what happened was, this is the first action film I've done. Like, I've not done action before this. So I had to write all the action when I was writing the script. And when I finished writing the script, I started, we started talking to different action choreographers. And it became a challenge because in India what happens is most of the action choreographers, they shoot the film. Like they will shoot that part and the director is going to be sitting on the side.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't do this because this is 70% of the film. You know that I should go and take a holiday and then come back. So I said that I can't let you do this. I just want you to choreograph this. And I want to shoot this myself. And they said that what action film have you done? I said, I haven't done any action film. So then they said, then why should we put our career in your hands? Well, yeah, that's a fair point. Necessity is the mother of invention. So what happened was when we started looking for different kind of action choreographers, and that search took us to Mr. O, who was in South Korea. And he
Part of Snowpiercer.
part of Snowpiercer, and Avengers, and War. I couldn't have asked for more.
Yeah.
So, you're sitting at home and you're getting the best person.
We actually spoke to a lot of action choreographers in Southeast Asia. We spoke to people in Indonesia. We were speaking to many action choreographers, and as in our Zoom calls, I think Mr. O had the most brilliant, innovative ideas. He was taking our conversation forward. His ideas were enhancing what we wanted to create, and we just thought that he's amazing. And we had him in India for I think 4.5 months.
So what we did was we did storyboarding and he did previs, and that's where those 10 beds went off. We had 52 beds and then we reduced it to 42 beds.
Compromise.
Yeah. So that was the entire process from there on.
When you say that you had everything written down, like did you have everything written
Everything.
down? That Tulika will first get stabbed in the back,
Everything.
then on the side, then something will go through it.
Not like that. Amrit gets up, turns left, his right hand goes here, catches somebody's knife and then brings it to his right and pokes it into somebody's eye. It was that detailed.
How long did it take you to write all of this down?
I took 1.5 years to write.
That makes sense. If you had said 1 month, I would have walked off. Think of it.
1.5 years.
Okay. Okay.
And many times what used to happen was I was writing it during the first wave of COVID, and I was holed up in a house in one room, and because I've never done an action,
Right.
so I would actually do shadow boxing myself. Like I would get up and I would start doing, is this the way, or is this the way? And once my wife came in and she saw, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm writing. She said, it doesn't look like it's right.
Oh my God, is this like some of your COVID frustration also? Lockdown frustration is in this film? It makes so much more sense.
But on serious notes, this is the first wave of COVID, and there was
Yeah.
so much of insecurity, so much of fear. We didn't know that this COVID is going to end. And we were holed up in the house. There was so much of claustrophobia. So yeah, so it just it just slipped from my mind and just got into the.
I see that manifestation. So cool, dude. So cool. All right, should we do one question now on this side? Just whoever's raising their hand. Right. Okay. Right in the middle. Yes. Red T-shirt.
Hi, was there any choice, or was there any need to put a musical number into this?
Song?
Musical number.
No, not really. We have songs. We have like 4 songs, but not in the film. But it is part of the film for part of the promotions. Yes. There are songs. There is a romantic number. There is an action number. There are 2 action numbers.
Which are now out on YouTube?
Yes,
The songs are now out on YouTube. So.
And they're great songs.
All right.
There's one more question right there behind. There's a woman raising her hand. Yeah.
Have either of you ever been stabbed?
Have you been stabbed?
No.
I've seen stabbing.
Between your Patna to Pune journey?
Strangely, I saw it in Pune.
And so, no. Shall we go with, I'm sorry, I'm making you run. I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to cover a larger area.
Go behind, like there's somebody who's.
No.
The one behind.
Yes, over there. That lady, I want lady questions, please. Right there.
So you said that it went from 52 deaths down to 40, and I'm really curious if there was a death that you lost that you really, really loved, and if there was, can you describe it in detail?
You didn't get it out? You remind him of everything he lost. In detail, she says.
Yeah, so there is a death which is, there are actually 2 deaths. One was, just before that washroom sequence, there were 2 more people who he burned alive. He had kept the Zippo lighter inverted.
Yeah.
And the Zippo fluid was flowing down, and what he did was, and he kept the door open, so the two wounds like they came and they saw. So he pushed them inside and like threw a burning object and shut the door, so it burst inside. Yeah, so that was those 2 deaths, and the one death which we cut actually. So it's in the washroom. Yeah, we shot and we cut it out. Was the one where he killed that person with the door, but he did not die like that. So he had to pull him out, take him to the window, and he kept punching him till the time his brains popped out.
You are such a gentle man. I've spent enough time with you now to feel like he's so sweet, but then I hear you talk. Very sensitive, soft-spoken man. And then I hear him talk.
He's curious about what's inside the head.
But it's interesting, like now that I know that you wrote this in the lockdown, it makes sense that this is a whole lot of this comes from the lockdown frustration. And I think that's all the time we have tonight. Thank you so much for turning up. Guneet, Monga, Nikhil, Nagesh, Bhat. Guneet has something to say.
Just one thing, please write your reviews online or, and no spoilers. Please watch the film for July.
Thank you.